Hi everybody, very welcome. On behalf of the library and on behalf of the wider university, I want to issue a very warm welcome to all of you partners, colleagues and guests. Thank you to the DRI, Director Lisa Griffith, and to Newtown School Waterford, to the Waterford Transported Convict Women, a Her Story group, and of course our partners in the INSYTE Research Group of the Department of Computing and Maths, and my dear colleagues from the SETU Library. It's my great pleasure to open this Love Data Week and to mark the two important launches today. The formal publication of the SETU member case study, Educational Resources at the Intersection of Engineering and Cultural Heritage, on the Digital Repository of Ireland. Yes, there they are. And the other one is the launch of Newtown School Archive on the DRI. And they're both very important, but for slightly different reasons. The member case study demonstrates something forward-looking and dynamic, how digital preservation infrastructure can be embedded into learning, teaching and research. It shows how by involving the students in real-world repository workflows and getting them to implement metadata standards, we can really shape and deepen their understanding of how digital content works together with metadata. When students work with standards such as Qualified Dublin Core, when they see how XML is generated, transformed and ingested into a real-world archive such as the DRI, they begin to understand that these digital systems are not isolated repositories, but are interoperable environments built on common standards. And it ensures that the documentary memory of that institution, the voices and experiences embedded in the archive, and the legacy it represents are preserved not just physically but digitally and for the long term. So today we celebrate both the education of our future and the preservation of the education of our past. Thank you.
So what is DRI, or who are DRI? So the Digital Repository of Ireland is infrastructure that was built to preserve Ireland's digital culture, heritage and arts, humanities and social science research data. And we're funded by the Higher Education Authority to work with higher education institutions like yourselves, research libraries, cultural heritage institutions and museums, policy centres, archives and community groups. And we have a very strong connection to community groups through our community archive scheme. So it's really delighted to see what SETU are doing with the broader community groups across Waterford, and to see how they are sharing their resources and putting them at the disposal of their students.
So dear friends, I'll tell you maybe a bit about Professor Michael Cooley. I'm the director of INSYTE and of the INSYTE CooleyResearchLab. So I'll just tell you a bit about him. So Professor Michael Cooley was born in 1934 and passed away in 2020. He was an aerospace engineer. He was an academic and trade unionist and was a founder of the human-centered systems approach to system design. And the tenets of that are to valorize human tacit knowledge, to augment but not replace the human in the system by formation of a human-machine symbiosis for the benefit of society. Michael Cooley won the alternative to the Nobel Prize, which is called the Right Livelihood Award in 1981, for his work on human-centered systems. And we are so very grateful to have the Cooley Archive, as it is from the generous donation of this to C2 that the INSYTE CooleyResearchLab has formed. Research in INSYTE goes back much further than that, however, and it is well established, having been founded by Professor Larry Stapleton and Liam Doyle in 1991. Indeed, it is from the success of INSYTE that the Master's Programme in Information Systems Processes evolved. Personally, I believe that it is important to reduce the barriers to education anywhere we see them. I am delighted to be able to share what I learn as I journey on my own PhD path with students in the classroom and with others. And I hope that the community evident here today will continue to grow and grow into the future.